The Donner Party was responsible for their own death and their own problems because they should have stayed with the group. They shouldn't have left everyone else. They were too lazy. They took the shortcut and they shouldn't have. They were blaming Hastings while they could have been solving their own problems instead of blaming other people for their problems. And they were the only group to perish. Other people went through the shortcut and still lived. And they could have compromised, like the big wagons. They could have loaded down. They didn't have to take all the things. And instead of like their bunk beds or whatever, they could have brought water or more food. And they depended on too many other people, like the Indians. They should have been helping themselves instead of listening to other people's advice, even though they didn't take half their advice. Because at Fort Laramie, they were told not to go from someone who just was through there, and they still decided to go. And Hastings even said he wasn't going to go through there and that they shouldn't either, but he still went. And they knew what season it was. They knew the weather was going to be bad, so why'd they keep stopping when they knew the snow was going to be there? I mean, Hastings told him that the weather was going to be bad, and he can't control the weather. He's not capable of that. So they could have, if they didn't stop for the 5 days before they went into the mountains, they could have beat the storm and gotten out. They didn't have to listen to Hastings in the first place to go through the shortcut. They could have not been lazy and just went the right way. And they could have been more prepared, and they stopped too much. They could have lighted on the loads and everything. And Hastings tried to communicate with them. He left notes trying to say what they should do. And they tried listening. I just think the directions might not have been too good. So they had a lot of different ways that they could have done things, and they were definitely responsible for it, in my opinion.
Okay, the first thing is that Hastings had never tried the shortcut before, and he didn't know what was going to happen. And his shortcut was 125 miles longer than the original route. He also said that he'd write them notes and said that he would meet with them, but he never did. He also said that the desert would take 2 days to cross, and it took 5. In his shortcut, 41 people were killed by in the Donner Party. He never went back to help them. They left in March, and the trip was supposed to take 4 months, but it didn't. It took longer. And that's it.
Okay, so you guys are saying that Hastings just didn't help him or anything. They did. He met up with them on the rock. He met up with them and told them what he thought they should do. And at the beginning of the video, they said he wanted to start an empire. So why would he purposely want to try to kill all these people if he's trying to start an empire in California? And the shortcut may have been like a longer amount of time, but it might have been easier than the other way to get through. So it still could have been shorter in a different way. Even if it was more miles, it might have been easier to cross on a normal basis. They could have just stopped stopping so much, and then it wouldn't have taken so long. And he did leave notes, and they didn't have to listen to him because no one knew, so it was their own fault. They could have decided if it was smart to wait until some other people had crossed it, and they could have gotten some more opinions. So it's the Donner Party's fault.
First, you said that they weren't lazy when they were just trying to go a faster way. Like the path Hastings said that they said it would take shorter, or wouldn't take as long. And when they thought it was, when they said that they should have took the shorter route, they didn't know that they would have needed all the extra water and food because it was supposed to take shorter than what it did. And Hastings may have met with them on the rock, but he refused to help or go with them. Like he just pointed them into the direction of where they should go, and that didn't work out. So